over the last 2 weeks, but especially the last week, there has been, with these eclipses, there has been so much that has been learned for this group of people that I've tuned into this collective energy. There is so many lessons that have been learned. They were hard lessons, but they were the type of lesson where you're able to very quickly see the meaning, the purpose, the intention, like you're processing and integrating the energy and the lessons very, very quickly. Okay, Four of Swords, yes. And as a result, you have been able to implement these learnings, this energy, these realizations, these epiphanies super quickly, and you've been able to sort of, what you're learning or the concepts that you're grasping, the things that you are understanding from this eclipse energy, you're able to put them into play, put them into practice in real time, and you are seeing results. Some of you, it's like the floodgates have been literally opened. Seven of Cups, Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on from confusion, moving on from, this is like the Seven of Cups here. I'm just really feeling like this stuck energy of not knowing what to do, not knowing where to go, not knowing what's what. The floodgates have opened, okay? And you have discovered so much about yourself and learned so much about who you are and how you operate in the world and how that's held you back. And even just that knowing, Six of Swords again, just that knowing has unblocked your energy, has unblocked your blessings. Knight of Cups again. That's crazy. Knight of Cups and the Chariot. Yeah. Unblocked your blessings. Things are moving. Things are flowing. Seven of Swords. Okay. Knight of Cups again. That's crazy. Five of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Thank you, Spirit. Three of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck here. Okay, so you're building something, you're creating something. I'm really getting this sense of like, because of everything that you've gone through in the last 2 weeks, but really in the last week is where you were like in this pressure cooker, okay? Last night or today, you may have started to see the results of the things that you have learned during that, you know, that pressure cooker energy start to turn around for you, okay? And you will start to see your abundance start to flow very, very quickly from here on out. So it's almost like you were waiting to create, you were waiting to start creating something tangible, okay? But you were waiting on the tools to be delivered, or you're waiting on a delivery. Now you've received, it's like the delivery has come, okay? And now you're able to get to work. And when I say get to work, I mean get to work building what it is you've been trying to build. Look at this Ace of Cups, yeah. This new beginning. It's full of abundance, full of, like I've been really drawn to like the waterfall here, this fountain, okay? Blessings, abundance coming in, just trickling in. The floodgates have opened. Very windy today. The Star. This is really a testament to the you've done a lot of healing. You've done so much healing this week. So much healing this week. I just really feel like you were really at the precipice of integrating, and I've been like yesterday's reading, I feel like this is very much related to yesterday's reading, but you have truly like closed out a huge cycle. And I feel like that phrase gets thrown around so much in tarot because we do, you know, we do talk about cycles, but for you specifically, if this is resonating for you, you are someone who's gone through many, many different cycles, and you will continue to cycle through. But this cycle, there's something about this cycle being very different. This cycle is like, it's like, it feels like a coming of age. It really does. It feels like a coming of age. And it's like your frontal lobe has developed. Your frontal lobe has, if you're, you know, it develops at 25, but you know, I'm over 25, but it's more like the energy of that, you know, when they say like, oh, your frontal lobe has developed, it's like this last closing out of this cycle that you were in, moving on from this cycle, you will never go back, because like the things you have learned in these past 2 weeks due to these eclipses, you literally can never go back to the state of being that you were in before this. Because the way you have leveled up is just too huge, too much. Like and you've been trying, I feel like you've been wanting things, you've been wanting a life that you are now able to live because of this healing that you've done. It's like you've really been able to go through and fix like fragmented parts of your psyche, fragmented parts of your soul. You've been able to really fix the fragments. I don't know what that's about. We just had too many cards drop out. And because, I don't know, it's just like, yes, your spirit guides are saying, yes, now it's time. Now you can, you've been trying to like manifest this life, manifest these things for a very long time, but you just couldn't from where you were at. And you needed, it sounds shit, but you needed these experiences that you've just had over the last 2 weeks, specifically in this pressure cooker energy, in order for you to have the context that you need to be able to continue on to have this life that you have been trying to manifest and now have manifested. Yeah, look, 9 of Cups on the bottom, the Queen of Pentacles. This is a wise energy. You have knowledge that you did not have before. And this context about yourself, about how to heal the fragments, the fractals is really what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the fractals of your soul, of your psyche, of yourself, of your inner essence, right? You needed the context as to what fractals were actually broken, not broken, but needed healing. Which ones specifically? You're someone who's done a lot of healing work, a lot of work on yourself in your life. Yeah, Temperance. You're someone who doesn't shy away from healing, from learning, from growing. You're willing to do the work, you're willing to do the research, you're willing to put in the work, but you couldn't, you don't know what you don't know, and you needed to wait for spirit to catch up to you is really what I'm getting. You needed to wait for spirit to give you the information. There were things that had to come into play. There were events that had to happen. Events that had to come into play in order for you to gain awareness of what these fractals were so that you could heal them, so that you could move on. If you are watching on TikTok, head to part 2. Okay, Spirit, so 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment, wishes coming true. Now these things, now you can work on these things now, and you were always working on these things. You were always building your dreams. You were always like making efforts and going towards and trying to manifest and bring about this change, or you know, you were trying to make your dreams happen, but it wasn't working out. You weren't seeing the results. You weren't seeing you weren't achieving what you were wanting to achieve. But now you can, because you've mended the fractals. You've healed a lot in this last week. And this healing has come from you being able to put things into place, boundaries into place, and have an overall awareness and understanding that you didn't have before. So it's like now you have the relevant context, now you have the relevant information, and now things can actually start to open up in front of you. And if this is resonating, you would have started to see the results in the last 24 hours, or in the next 24 hours. You have or will start to see proof of what these are starting to really manifest before your eyes. Two of Wands. This was on the bottom of the deck, and I saw it before. This Page of Swords also came out before. Now things can start moving in a new direction. Now you have this, like, it's becoming tangible now, is the difference. It's really, I thought I had a noise. It's becoming tangible. Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, it's becoming tangible. The work that you are doing, the work that you have, you've been really trying. You've been really trying to make this happen. You've been really trying to bring about these goals and to make them tangible. And it's like now they are becoming tangible. You're starting to see the way in which the return, or it's like now you have as I was talking about, the delivery. Like if you're trying to actually build something or create something, now the energetic doors are open and things like the ball is rolling. For others of you, if it's something more creative, now you're seeing, now your work is being noticed. And it has a lot it has a lot to do with an energetic shift within you is really, really in alignment now with what it is you're trying to create. So what you have learned over the last 2 weeks specifically, and what you've been integrating over the last week in your life, in real time, has energetically aligned you actually to what it is you've been trying to manifest. Knight of Swords. It's happening very, very quickly. Tell me more about the Knight of Swords. It's happening very fast. Ten of Cups. It's almost like, okay, Ten of Cups, right, is complete happiness. It's complete contentment and satisfaction with your life. It's feeling of fullness. It's feeling of bliss, right? And this is what is going to be, whatever you're working on, this wish fulfillment, this comes after the wish fulfillment. It's contentment, it's happiness, it's joy. It's basking in that. But it's almost like this is coming in really, really quickly, and like his face, he's almost like he's pulling up to his house, or he's pulling up to this place, and he's like sort of shocked. He's like, wait, what? It's like this manifests before your very eyes. It happens so quickly that you're like, wait. So, and it's like, it goes straight from like 0 to 100. It's like you woke up, and now you're in this space of like, complete. It's like you've woken up and now you're in this new life. You've literally, and I hate to say it, but it's like that you've literally shifted timelines. Your energy has aligned with the timeline that you were trying to physically bring about. Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Like, yeah, you're here. You right now in this very moment. It's already here. There's an inevitability to it. There's an inevitability to it. You don't need to do anything more because you've been doing it. The only thing that was missing was an energetic alignment, and you couldn't force your energy to align. Your energy like your soul had to gain an awareness, had to gain insight. It needed context in order to fit into what it is that you were trying to fit into. So now it's an inevitability. You're here, you're already here. This contentment is happening so fast. There's joy and happiness. There's a lot of abundance coming in for you guys. So much money. And it doesn't have to be money if that's not something that you're trying to manifest, but like independence, complete autonomy and sovereignty over yourself, over your career, over your abundance. And that is true abundance for you. You're able to really now, like, things are shifting so quickly for you. But things have already shifted. So for you, it's going to seem like you have, like, things are shifting. There are other things that are going to shift a little bit, a lot slower, but for the most part, you're still going to be very shocked that, oh, it's already here. When did that arrive? When did you get here? When did that happen? How did that happen? And it's just because you've energetically aligned. You've energetically aligned. This King of Swords fell out, but I don't feel connected to it. So if it comes out again, I will dig deeper into it, but I'm just going to go with my gut on this. There's nothing left for you to do other than continue on what you've been building. But it's like, this is already here. There's no like, okay, now I've energetically aligned. Now I'm going to start to see things slowly ramp up. It's like, no, it's like, oh, that's here. That's already happened. But things will then begin to continue to build, continue to move, continue to elevate over time. Over the next 9 to 10 weeks, 9 to 10 months. The Chariot and the Two of Swords. Knowing how to move forward. Tell me about this Two of Swords. Specifically in the context of the Chariot. Like the Chariot talks about steady progress. It talks about also overcoming obstacles, and it talks about success and just overall progression. Ace of Pentacles, yeah. So with the Two of Swords, it's like you don't need to... there's a huge opportunity coming in. You don't need to worry about... It's almost like you no longer are worrying because you're seeing this steady progress, right? Because you're like, what the heck? When did this happen? You no longer worry about micromanaging the progression, because you're just seeing progression and that's enough for you in this energy. And opportunities just continue to come into your life and just begin to appear. Like you just find them on the ground. You come by opportunities, you come by ideas that do well take off. Wow, this energy is huge, guys. Relax.